In this video, we're going to be covering from 40 fathoms to the Barkhang Monastery level. I've also included a couple of skips that I did not manage to pull off, but I will explain them, how they're supposed to be done, and show you video. Even if I didn't manage to pull them off, there are plenty of people that I imagine who can pull them off. I also highly encourage anyone watching this video to go and watch a speedrun from either ESA, European Speedrunners Assembly, or GDQ, Games Done Quick, because the people doing those runs tend to explain a lot better than I do the tricks that they are pulling off. This first trick is from near the beginning of 40 fathoms, and it's one that I couldn't do. But essentially, if you have enough medkits, you can tank the damage and just run straight through the fire instead of doing the timed puzzle. Because directly through the door is a pool of water which you can use to put yourself out. So if you can keep yourself alive long enough, you can just totally ignore the fact that you're on fire. Probably not gonna go well. Oh! The next skip is a little later in the level, when you have to drop down into the room full of metal, I guess. I don't really know what that is. I actually managed to screw this up and had to do this difficult skip 3 times. The first time because I'd forgotten to pull the lever in the room, which you need to be able to progress once you're down there. The second time because I died, and the third time I got it. All 3 times it took me a while to get this, but we're going to start at the beginning. When you drop down into the first room, you need to aim to the right so that Lara falls on a flat area. From there, you can jump over to the little room with the lever. After you've pulled the lever, climb all the way down to the bottom and follow my route here through to the corridor. Now is the hard part. You need to swan dive off of this ledge to the ground. That would normally kill you. In fact, it will kill you probably quite a few times before you manage to nail it. The idea is, if Lara hits both the wall and the ground at the exact same time, it cancels out fall damage. I can't really give you many tips on exactly where to position yourself or when to jump exactly. You just have to kind of eyeball it. If you hit the wall, you've jumped too late. If you hit the floor, you've jumped too early. It's a very, very difficult middle ground. Reasoning for all these things. There we go. Ah, I'm a badass. I'm gonna regret that later. Oh yeah, because of that, something cool happens. Whee! That room's supposed to be filled with water. The next skip is in living quarters. When you get to the big engine sort of room with the pistons, head across the room to the door that you would exit through, and use this corner to try and do a sort of corner bug with a twist. I initially was trying to do a normal corner bug to glitch up to the higher ledge, but after getting myself lodged in the wall countless times and then falling back down, I realized that you're supposed to roll instead. What you need to do is line Lara up diagonally on a floor tile so that one of her feet is touching the outside edge of it and the other foot is touching the wall. If you have the angle correct, when you then roll, it will force Lara into the wall and the game will try and eject her upwards, and you will end up on the ledge with the lever. Then just pull the lever, drop down, continue through the corridor, and you've cut out a good chunk of platforming. His exact setup. Oh no, how's he doing that? He seems to be both touching the edge of that tile on the floor and touching the wall at the same time. There we go. I'm not exactly sure what I did different that time to make it work, but it did, and we've just cut off a nice chunk of the level there. A little bit later in the level, when you come out of the water, you enter this big room. Now this one's another one that has an achievement tied to it. So if you stand on this specific grate and do a standing jump, you can grab the blue duct above and skip the puzzle element of this room. Boom. Some of the achievements help. It's nice. This is another one that I failed to do, but towards the end of living quarters, you will not be able to progress because of a giant hole in the floor. You need to go and fill that hole up with water to swim over to the side. But if you can angle your jump exactly right and jump from the very, very edge, then you can grab the doorway across the way without filling the room up with water. I tried for a good 45 minutes and couldn't manage it, but it is possible. The next skip is at the beginning of Tibetan Foothills. Instead of climbing down into that icy sort of canyon, angle a jump to the left and then do a running jump all the way over. You have to press the grab button, else Lara won't make it. Then, if you want to avoid the guys spawning near the building, you can do an angled jump to grab the snow slightly to the left. This will stop them spawning, but is a bit of an awkward jump to do. The next skip is another one that was also an achievement. You want to aim to the left of those ice blocks with the skidoo so that you can jump between them and not have to climb up and move the blocks. It saves about a minute or two of gameplay.
Tigers are going to spawn on the other side. Of too far left now.
They didn't spawn. God. Later in the level, when you get to the big open room with the drawbridge and the snowballs, instead of picking up the drawbridge key, go straight into the room and you can do these jumps to get up to where the snowballs are, and this also avoids the trigger for the snowballs as well. I can't imagine it going very well for me. Oh. Oh. Huh. Cool. Noise. There is a skip in the Barkhang Monastery level, which means that you only need to collect one prayer wheel. Once you've done that, head to the room where you placed them all and put the first prayer wheel in as normal. Then go up to the second spot and press the menu button and then press up and use the serif. If you accidentally press interact, you're fine, you can back out. If you press interact and use the serif that way, it will bug it and you'll need to reload. You have to do it by pressing the inventory button and then up and using the serif that way. Not do that, please. Oh, nearly. Italian has turned into prayer wheels. Stop it. I thought I was going to screw it up on that last prayer wheel, because if you accidentally try to use the normal interact on any of them, then that screws it up. So I thought I was going to have to go and find the last prayer wheel, and I was not too happy about that.